Rick Ross may be a famous rapper worth a sizable fortune, but his car collection is possibly even more impressive. With over 100 fine rides in his collection, he has become low-key famous for his car collection, and it's not hard to see why, with over 100 cars ranging from super sports cars to the absolutely ridiculous over-the-top rides. He's really cultivating a legendary reputation in the car world. Not only that, he knows how to advertise them too. He's always lining them up and showing them off on Instagram, where he highlights them like they're his own museum pieces. I mean, you would too if you had a $5.8 million mansion that you could stretch all your cars across. His collection alone is an investment that could carry him if his career ever flatlines for good. It's been estimated that the entire thing is worth over $3.5 million, though frankly, I'd say that the collection is being undervalued. I kind of think the collection has got to be worth at least, say, $5 million? Now let me tell you what's in there, and you can make the judgment for yourself. With so many rides to get through, let's separate them out into tiers, shall we? First up, we have the God tier cars. You know, the ones only awesome celebrities worth millions and millions of dollars could afford. Ross is worth well over $45 million over a career that spans since the late 1990s, and I'd say he definitely qualifies. His top of the top car is his gorgeous Lamborghini Murcielago. It can hit 214 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds, though that's not what this one is all about. Just look at how elegant this ride is. Frankly, I'd be terrified to ever drive it in fear of getting so much as a scratch. Well, that and the fact that it's worth around $486,000. Also in the Lambo Club is one of my personal favorites, his Lamborghini Urus. This one ends a little slower with a 190 miles per hour top speed and has a slightly faster acceleration time of 3.1 seconds, and it's also considerably cheaper at $230,000. While not being considerably lighter on the elegance, honestly, this one may be the better deal between the two. He's also got a pair of Rolls-Royce Classics, which you could probably guess if you follow this channel enough. If celebs nowadays are gonna have a Rolls-Royce, chances are they will be either the Rolls-Royce Phantom for $460,000 or the Rolls-Royce Wraith worth $340,000. Neither one can hit 200 miles per hour, but you don't get these cars for speed. You get them for making entrances. Like, yeah, I got a Rolls-Royce. Now, if you don't have a Rolls-Royce, but you want a car that comes packed with just as much, the smart buy is a Bentley. He's got a Bentley Continental Supersport that can actually hit 209 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 time of 3.4 seconds and a price of $322,000. Not bad at all. Then we've got the Mercedes and the Mercedes. He's got a Mercedes Maybach that can run 155 miles per hour with an acceleration time of 4.8 seconds and a reported price of $430,000. Then there's his S650 Cabriolet, which runs at 155 miles an hour, 3.9 second acceleration, and a $357,000 price tag. Finally, he's got a Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG that hits 130 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds and is worth $160,000. You know, this man has some serious rides when his AMG is the least impressive of the three. Now we've got the Ferraris. He's got a Ferrari 488 Spider, which flies at 203 miles per hour, does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat, and is worth $280,000. Then he's got a Ferrari 458 Italia, which hits 202 miles per hour, and it does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat and runs about $239,000. Honestly, I'd race these babies Fast and Furious style all the time. Finally, on his God tier list, there's a BMW. His BMW 760 Li hits 180 miles per hour with an acceleration of 4.1 seconds and a price of $157,000. While he may not have something like a $2 million Bugatti Veyron, the fact that he's got all of these cars together is just incredible. This is a fine collection of top of the line rides, and they're just a drop in the bucket for Rick Ross. Next up, we have what I'm calling the luxury tier. These are the cars that are still glamorous, expensive, comfortable, fast, and once again expensive, but not as quite as insane as those previously listed. You know, the ones even a normal celebrity could purchase without necessarily breaking the bank. First, we've got his Bentle, Brooklyn's worth $380,000, a 0 to 60 miles per hour acceleration time of 5.3 seconds, and a top speed of 183 miles per hour. Next is yet another Mercedes with his Mercedes-Benz CLS that runs at a price of around $72,000, a top speed of 130 miles per hour, and an acceleration time of 4.6 seconds. Now we've got two of my faves of this tier, and that would be his elegant Fisker Karma that speeds at 125 miles per hour with a 4.5 second 0 to 60 acceleration and a price of $95,000. Finally, I always love a good Tesla. His is a Tesla Model 3 with a 140 mile per hour top speed, a 3.1 second acceleration, and a 315 mile range on full charge, and a price tag of around $100,000. Honestly, where does Rick Ross even find the time to buy all these cars? You think he's got a car buying guy? To apply for a true enthusiast like Rick Ross, you've got to have a few cars that are part of history, right? I'm talking about those classic rides. While some people love to buy classic sports cars like Lambos and Ferraris, Rick Ross is much more interested in classic Americana. Specifically, he loves a classic Chevy that looks so American it should come with an ice-cold glass bottle of Coke. He's also a huge fan of the Chevrolet Bel Air, and has several that are in pristine condition. Obviously, this is a real passion of his as they are all matching. Each is that classic powder blue color that is just ideal for this particular ride. Not only that, but they go with one of his other favorite brands. He's known for posting bottles of Luc Belaire Blue right next to them as a perfect bottle service for these rides. It's no surprise that he at least has one for his classic Chevys, considering how much time and money he's put into them. And he's got ones from the Bel Air line that go all the way back from 1955 to 1957. It's not uncommon for him to line them up sort of for the evolution of classic Chevys. Each of them could cost around $70,000 if you get ones in incredible condition, like better than if you went back in time and picked them up in the 1950s. They can go upwards of $100,000. As nice as his are, I think it's a distinct possibility that he spent like $300,000 on these rides. Next, we've got his truck tier. While his first big truck was a solid contender for the God tier for me, mostly because it was a favorite of mine as a kid, that would be his spotless Hummer H2. This hulk of a ride runs $447,000. It also hits a top speed of around 93 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 time of over 10 seconds. But you definitely don't buy these for speed, you buy them because they look awesome. Which is great because due to gas prices right now, I bet this car is 100% worth it. H2 isn't even his biggest car, just take a look at his six-wheeled Chevy behemoth. That would be his Chevrolet 6x6 Silverado. This monster truck is a truly ridiculous ride and worth of $375,000. Over the fun he's having with it, it truly seems priceless. While those other trucks are impressive, he has actually purchased a legitimate monster truck that would be the ace of spades. So how much is a legitimate monster truck? Well, the Ace's high monster truck goes for a surprisingly affordable $59,000. So we've seen stars like Jay Leno and Jerry Seinfeld get shows where they show off their favorite rides. But where's Rick Ross's Netflix? That would be a hit. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, click that subscribe button, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. And as always, make sure you're being the lap of luxury versus standing in it.